Hey everyone, it's Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast. And here's an interesting concept. There are a lot of publishers out there. Apparently, there's one or at least one that makes original art part of the deal. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, this used to be pretty normal in the comic book industry, in that Marvel and DC owned all the original art. And then somewhere along the line, artists pushed back and said, hey, you already used those images. We ought to be able to sell the original art. And now it's pretty common practice in the industry for artists to own their originals if they have original art, because many artists are obviously working digital. So I'm going to get into this, some of the accusations and the rebuttal, because why not? It's pretty interesting. Before we get into it, though, Fatal is on Indiegogo. We're 20 backers away from 1,000 backers, which is fantastic. We've had a good weekend. We are well over $52,000, and there's 4 days left in this first 30-day run. We're going to be a 60-day campaign, so I will be extending that. But I added something new, which is the t-shirt. A lot of people have been asking for a t-shirt specifically with this image on it. And so there it is. It's available. I'm kind of a dope, so I set it all up for only US domestic backers, but I do have a secret perk for international backers. There's nothing special with it being secret. It's just that I couldn't edit this once people started backing it. So if you're international and you want a link to the international t-shirt, just let me know and I'll get you the link. But yeah, check it out, get in there, back it, help us to reach new heights. I also have a new stretch goal that we announced at 60K. We'll be adding pages for sketches and development, which are really cool because Charlie's got some really cool sketches in sort of the development process. And so that'll actually extend the length of the book. So the total book length is now going to be 64 pages. So check it out, support us, and we love you for it. All right, so Zach Davidson, who is, I don't know, is he an artist? I don't know what he does. He's Eisner winning. He's a writer. Okay. So beyond that, he says there are some ways of breaking into comics that are actually worse than not breaking in at all. Stay as far away from LLC Terrific as you can. All right, that's a heavy allegation. So let's look into this. So essentially, we have some shots of a contract and what they're asking for, and it gets a little bit complicated. I'm not going to pretend to be a genius with contracts. I just know the more complicated they get, the more nervous I am of those said contracts. So in this case, original works, which is 0.12 on the contract, we're not seeing the whole thing, but essentially, if you're an artist, you work for them, and you are drawing original pages, then those original pages will be shared with the publisher, and the publisher will try and sell them and give the artist some of the money. Okay, and this is where it gets a little confusing. If it doesn't sell or they want to pay them in advance, it'll be they just pay them $200 for the entire 20-page book rate prior without royalties in advance. As an advance, I don't understand what that means. Against 50% of the net proceeds. Okay, so yeah, that maybe some red flags there. All right, so comic artists will agree to sign limited edition products within 5 days. So you got to sign it within 5 days. Any signatures you got to do. Being requested to sign comics. Okay, that could get annoying. That's kind of a weird time frame, but whatever. The comic artist agrees to attend comic convention seminars and meeting rooms. I think that's pretty standard. You got to be promoting your books, especially in indie comics. I don't have a problem with that one. The comic artist will promote their terrific products website and comic book covers. The comic artist agrees that any effort to try and settle disputes in a public venue will damage Terrific Production LLC and will avoid any royalties. Okay, so if you got beefs, don't bring it out in public. Okay. It's okay. I don't know how I feel about that one. That's strange. Yeah, avoiding royalties does not diminish any magnitude of damages if they're going to sue you, I guess, and there are damages from what you're saying. So I don't know if Zach Davison ever worked for them. Probably not, because he posted this. All right, So I'm interested, as a publisher, um, something I would love more than anything, really, for my own independent stuff, is to have an artist that is exclusive and is just doing my stuff. And, they're happy, I'm happy, and we're just doing our stuff. Because that has a lot to do with timelines and how much you're able to put out of a certain story. I realize it takes a long time to draw things, but it takes even longer when an artist is working on multiple books at the same time. And so in my ideal world, it would be better for everybody. So as I'm kind of looking at different arrangements and things, looking at what other publishers are doing, I've got to give them kudos for their tenacity, perhaps. I don't know. But I don't know. It doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me. So basically, they're saying that most people are doing, this is the publisher in question, most artists are working digitally anyway, so it doesn't matter. Or most artists are international as well, so therefore it doesn't matter that point on the contract. But that means if you are living in the United States and you're an artist that works digitally, I guess it can be worse for you. The way that they're trying to set themselves up here, the publisher, is that they're also kind of like an art agent, and that they're going to be selling your original stuff for you, and so therefore they're going to take a big chunk of the sales, like half, I think is what it was at least. Yeah, so some call it innovation. I don't know. So from my standpoint, I don't think that makes an awful lot of sense to do that. I could see if you're the one selling some artwork and you really are being the agent, you could take a percentage, obviously if you agree to that, but taking half or having it be some like part of the deal, I don't know, that leaves a bad taste in my mouth, especially because there's such a history already in comics of this being a bad practice, and it's difficult enough for artists to make money in comics. So just sell the books then, like print more books, sell the books as the publisher. That makes an awful lot more sense to me. I don't know. This is where it all gets super becomes a gray area. Anyway, so I want to know what you think about this original art and artists. Is this really innovation? Is this a good idea, or is this a terrible idea? And also, I go back here to some ways of breaking into comics are worse than not breaking in at all. I mean, you you live and you learn. It's not like your life is destroyed from having one bad publishing deal. That's a bit silly. Maybe some hyperbole there, but yeah, let me know what you think. I'm going to be at it tonight with a live stream and hitting it hard this week promoting Fatal. That is the plan. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you all next time.